No one told me you were famous. You look at all the strange people with that tear in your eye on the first day of school. Mom kissed and left you all alone, and you're shaking to the bone. How could she be so cruel? Now you're older, still young, and but you're playing.
I intuitively, choose whatever charities or, organizations I align myself with. And when it came to Challenge Day, it just, everything about it really resonated with my soul's purpose. Everything from great listening, deep compassion, deep wisdom, a great understanding of the human condition, allowance for anger and all emotions, and allowance and room for individual expression, creating a connection amongst people while allowing them the space to stay individually unique, not having to homogenize in order to connect. These are all things that Challenge Day, is to me, and very much part of my life purpose. So I think if we can focus on the foundation of young people and healing any wounds that may have already begun or may be about to begin in the midst of the teen years, can make such a huge difference. My experience in high school was one of just feeling disconnected, and I know that I'm not alone in having had that experience. It's such a vulnerable time of defining oneself as we evolve through our teen years. I think they go in with the intention of loving everyone in the room, and not with the intention of, having to control the situation or having to, be attached to an outcome of what the day is supposed to look like. I know that they go in with the intention to be loving and to listen. And I think that is the greatest gift that you can not only give anyone, but particularly a young person. If this is something that can be achieved in a classroom or in a room or in a school, it portends for pretty amazing things that could wind up happening with the rest of the planet, between nations.
That I would be good, even if I gained 10 pounds.
Hi, you're watching and listening to Spartan Youth Radio, and I'm Rachel Raguth with Paige Noonan, and we are here with Jake and Bernice from Challenge Day, brought to our school, and we are going to ask you some questions.
How many schools have you two been going to?
It's an unknown number for me.
2 this week.
Yes, 2 this week. It varies. I've been doing this work for 4 years. He's been doing it for 2, and it averages out from 2 to 3 schools each week. Sometimes it's just 1. So to figure out the math, I really lost count. It's been a while.
Hundreds.
Lots of schools.
Is it tiring though? Because you guys are really, really enthusiastic through the presentation.
Yes. It gets a little exhausting sometimes, but usually you get a little bit tired after the day. But with the sort of work that we do, you just have a self-care program. Bernice likes to work out after the day. I do meditation and things like that. So you find ways to kind of balance out the physical and emotional exertion that we have during a Challenge Day and just kind of work it into your life.
So whenever you guys were put together, was it awkward at all?
No, it kind of, at the beginning, it is always awkward because you have no idea what this person's life has been, and you've seen in Challenge Day how pretty much who we are and the things we've been through is what makes our workshop. So when you don't really know the person and they've been training before they go out on the floor, and then once they do, it's I'm getting to know this person for the first time, but that's after you already got to travel and sit next to them on the plane for I don't know how many hours. So it can get awkward sometimes, but after that first day, it's super cool.
We fit right in.
Yes.
Day 1, down since day 1.
So it's you guys together always?
No.
You guys don't split it up?
No, I was with somebody else last week.
Oh.
Somebody else.
That's great.
But it's so different everywhere you go too. Like I ended up in a place called Swan Hills my first season, which was like 3 hours in the middle of nowhere from each direction, and there was like nothing around, and I was just like, this is my first impression of Canada. This is pretty cool. But then I got to see like different cities, and we go all over the place.
How does someone get involved?
It's a process of getting involved. You start out like first attending challenge days. And then it depends to what level of involvement, because there's all sorts of different ways that someone can be involved in Challenge Day. We have like what's called a Circle of Change, which is a group of people that, a community-based group of people that will get together to continue the sorts of things that we do at Challenge Day and bring them to their community. And then, but more than that, if like someone's interested in becoming involved in Challenge Day as like doing our job, then we have like tryouts once a year, and then there's like this whole auditioning process, and you like have to try out one day, and then like that night you like get a call that tells you whether you're like called back for day 2, and then like there's a whole long process of actually like getting the credentials that you need to be a Challenge Day leader. So there's all sorts of different ways that one can be involved.
But what feeds me, or like what inspires me to each piece that I do is, just how much it affected me the first time I went through a challenge day. Because before I even knew that I wanted to do this, I was a volunteer, and I remember how each thing the person said impacted me. So like I take that moment and be like, what's something I can say that will get this point across that I know a person like me will get. And this is why we use that language. Like each of us have our own personality behind each message, and it'll be the same like when you get other challenging leaders. Even though it's the same message, there's like a different energy to it, and it's because we each make it our own. And what feeds me is your faces. It's to see how much you guys appreciate what we're saying, how much you know that we are there for you.
As soon as we came in, as soon as I walked through that door, and there was like all those teachers and adults standing there jumping up and down ready to give you high fives, I was like, this is awesome. And then after that, it was just from then on I set my mood for the entire day.
Yeah, same here. I think it really helped, like being able to be like open with everything, because like my best friend was there, and her sister, who like I'm really close with her whole family, and I learned a lot more like about them, and she'd be my best friend for 13 years, so it was really nice. It really helps.
Yeah.
I learned a lot of things about a lot of people today.
It was also, I liked how it was not just students. It was able to be with the adults and be able to like not be having a problem with being around adults or having that awkward feeling, like you can talk to them. Okay, well, we have to wrap it up.
Check us out, challengeday.org.
Yes, Google us. We got Facebook too. Check us out.
Well, thank you very much for coming. It was really, really great.
All right, you're listening to Spartan Youth Radio. We're all kinds of different.
All kinds.